everyone, welcome to Sidetrack Adventures. My name is Steve. Right now we're in a hotel in Salt Lake City, Utah. As if you couldn't tell from the cool artwork behind me that you can only find in a hotel. But today we have a long drive through Wyoming ahead of us. But before we leave this state, we wanted to visit a site that's been puzzling travelers since the 1840s. You can see it right from the interstate. It has a cool story and an even cooler name, the Devil's Slide. So the Devil's Slide is located about 50 miles from Salt Lake City. We're going to be taking Interstate 15 to the 84, and it should be visible from Interstate 84. Now, I'd never heard of the Devil's Slide before, but recently I was looking through my great-grandparents' photo album, and I came across a picture of it from the 1920s. And I said, wow, what the heck is this? This is really cool. So I looked up some information on it and realized we're going to be driving right near here in a couple weeks. So made plans to come out and check out the Devil's Slide. So we're one exit down the freeway from where the Devil's Slide is located. It's about a mile and a half from here, further east on Interstate 84. But unfortunately, there is a ton of road construction going on the interstate today, and the Devil's Slide viewing area is actually closed. So this video is going to be a lot shorter than it would have been, but we did manage to get some footage of it as we drove by. So let's take a look at that footage and we'll talk about some of the legends behind Devil's Slide and its history. When a lot of people think of Utah, probably the first two things that come to mind are the state's strong religious ties and its beautiful scenery. Early pioneers to the state probably didn't think it was so heavenly though. While there are 11 places or landmarks in Utah that contain the word angel, there are 61 that have the word devil in the name. While the Devil's Slide was long known to the indigenous people of the area, it was first seen by American pioneers in the 1840s. In the 1860s, with the building of the Transcontinental Railroad right through Weber Canyon, it became a pretty well-known landmark for travelers, especially with it being so close to another landmark along the tracks, the 1,000-Mile Tree. When they were grading the railroad through Weber Canyon in 1869, there happened to be a tree along the route that was exactly 1,000 miles from the railroad's eastern terminus in Omaha, Nebraska. A sign was hung from the tree, and the tree became known as the 1,000-Mile Tree. The site of the 1,000-Mile Tree, followed immediately by the Devil's Slide, was very popular among travelers. Unfortunately, the original 1,000-Mile Tree died in 1900 and was removed. The railroad was also realigned over the years, and the spot no longer marks 1,000 miles from Omaha. A new tree was planted in 1962 to commemorate the 1,000-Mile Tree, and that tree is still marked today. The 1,000-Mile Tree marker is on private property with no trespassing signs everywhere, but it is visible from the road if you know where to look. While the tree is somewhat difficult to find, you can't miss the Devil's Slide. Luckily for us, it's very visible from the interstate. The Devil's Slide consists of two parallel limestone strata that have been tilted to lie vertically and have been pushed out of the mountainside slowly over millions of years. Each side is about 40 feet high, with the sides being about 20 feet apart. Throughout the canyon, there are other examples of limestone strata being exposed, but mostly just single examples. The Devil's Slide is pretty unique. Of course, while we know how it was created geologically nowadays, there were no shortage of legends to how it was created over the years. One local legend was that when God threw Lucifer out of heaven, this is where he landed and slid down the mountainside to hell along the route of Devil's Slide. Another legend states that a Christian missionary named Father Pietro del Torre was traveling through the canyon when he encountered the devil, who was disguised as a Spaniard. When the priest realized it was the devil, he held up a crucifix and prayed, which weakened the devil, causing him to fall down the side of the mountain, thus forming the Devil's Slide. While the Devil's Slide was a major landmark for people riding the train in the 1800s, with the opening of US Highway 30S through Weber Canyon in the 1920s, and later Interstate 84, it has wowed countless motorists over the years. While the Devil's Slide is on private property, the Utah Department of Transportation has built viewing areas on both sides of the freeway so motorists can stop and look at it when they are actually open. So that's our unexpectedly brief look at the Devil's Slide. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and we'll see you next week.